Studies show black children tend to get diagnosed almost 2 years later than white children, or they get the wrong diagnosis altogether. So some experts say that this could be anything from money to access to health care. But 5 assertive, fearless moms raising children on the spectrum are on a mission to change that with a documentary called Colored My Mind.
I think I hold 2 realities.
I was real aggressive. You gotta act. You cannot sit still. I'm going to bust my way through to get what I need done for my family.
People say to me, black people don't have autism. Their view of autism was the movie Rain Man.
Tisha Campbell-Martin, LaDonna Hughley, Shannon Nash, Donna Hunter, they all join me now. All of them have children with autism. Thank you all so much for being here. It's so good to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having us.
I know that this is a challenge that just changes everything about your life. So Tisha, let me ask you, how challenging was it, first of all, to get diagnosed?
The thing about autism, there's no color, there's no status, there's no economic status either. So it doesn't matter whether you're Tisha Campbell-Martin, you're gonna wait, and time is not on your side. So you may try to call everybody that you can call, and you have to be very aggressive. But there is a waiting period now, you know, there always has been, to get to really good resources and people that can help you. And again, time is not on your side. You have to get in there right away and fight.
I talked to Holly Robinson Peete about this last year, and she was saying the sooner you can get in there, the sooner it makes all the difference in what you can do for your children. She was one of the first persons, that I called. And that was one of the things that she says, just get in there and fight. We don't know how to fight yet because everybody is different. Everybody gets a different, it's a spectrum disorder. Well, Shannon, you know, one study says cultural differences may be to blame. I mean, what does that mean for you?
Well, I mean, to me, I think that in, you know, I'll talk about my culture, in the African-American culture, I definitely faced from very educated, very well-meaning people in my own family the stereotype that, well, that doesn't really happen in our race. And at first it was really difficult because I knew it was something wrong with my child, but my support system, which is basically my family, my church, everyone else, was saying, that's probably not what's wrong, he's a boy. And then I got the black males in particular tend to get stigmatized very early on in life, and you don't want to do that to your child.
I was going to say, do you think fear kept them from wanting to accept that?
Fear, not being educated in this particular, you know, this is something that most people don't really know about. So, and
you're in denial for a little bit. Certainly, I would think. Donna, why do you think black children aren't getting diagnosed? I mean, is there something to the socioeconomics of it?
Oh, I absolutely think so. I think there's the predisposition that in the African-American community that this kid may be bad versus there's definitely something going on. Absolutely. And in education, a lot of times we just wait and we just kind of watch them and we kind of give them discipline versus giving them interventions that are needed, especially speech and OT and the things that they need in order to just manage life. They're getting more discipline, timeouts, you know, being, you know,
spankings.
I'll say disciplined.
Spankings.
Yeah. But in the school district, I find that way more.
Labels, but not the right one.
Right.
Right.
So, LaDonna, what do you think is the biggest misconception in the black community when it comes to autism specifically?
Well, I think the biggest misconception, of course, is that we are, how can I say this? In our culture, we normally don't talk about things. We say, okay, what goes on in our homes, stay in our homes and things like that. And I think the more that we get rid of that and start to educate ourselves and start basically get our heads out of the hole and move on past that, then that's the betterment of our community.
And I also think it has something to do with the people in our environment and in our communities too, because the doctors that are in our communities or in the urban communities may not be educated. The teachers may not be educated on what autism is, you know, so that also has something to do with it as well.
Speaking about you, Tisha, watch this.
I just kept screaming and screaming and screaming, and I kept saying, why? Why him? Why us? Why?
It's really hard
hard to watch that still.
It's hard for me to watch it, and you did it, for heaven's sakes. I mean, how did your son's diagnosis change your life?
Oh, well, that very moment is like, what dog is howling? Somebody shut that dog up, and it was me. Like, I was just, like, howling, and I just remember that moment, but then I had to snap out of it immediately. You don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have time to feel sorry for your child. You have to act. You have to get in there, and you have to do the work. 40 hours, whatever it takes, you might have to move to a place where they have better provisions, something, because you want to do everything you can to save your child's life.
Early on, and I know he's 10 now.
He's
right?
11.
He's 11 now.
Now he has a girlfriend.
and his name is Zen.
His name is Zen. He has a girlfriend. He's always been in typical schools. I always wanted him to model typical children. And so now, everybody he runs around and says, I don't have autism anymore. And don't tell my friends, my girlfriend, I used to have autism.
Because you would never know.
No, you would never know at this point.